everyone, welcome back to my channel, Tomcat Stitchery. I'm Whitney, and today we're going over, Jenni's been doing some sewing. You know, we've got the whole quilted jacket vest trend that we are seeing everywhere. Jenni has sewn one from scratch and then also upcycled an actual quilt to make another garment. So we're going to be talking about that on the channel today. But before we get into that, today is Friday, which means we do have a Love Notions Feature Friday pattern. And today it is the Sybil skirt. This is a knit skirt pattern. I think it comes with 7 different variations. It can actually be sewn to the bodice of the Tessa sheath dress as well to make a knit dress, like a fitted knit dress. But I have made the skirt quite a few times actually. It's just a really easy, functional knit skirt pattern. It includes like this tummy control panel that you make out of like a mesh or whatever to kind of help the outside fabric glide over any lumps and bumps that might be there. Anyway, it's a really lovely pattern and very, very versatile. So if you don't have this one in your catalog, today is a great day to buy that one. If you use my code Whitney10, you can get an additional 10% off that sale price. That is this quarter's code for Love Notions to get that additional 10% off. All right, let's head over to the meat and potatoes of the video. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, Tomcat Stitchery. I'm Whitney and I've got Jenni here today because Jenni's been doing some sewing and she has been really leaning in to the quilted trend.
Absolutely. So I have been following a few pages on social media. Also, like Pinterest sends you those emails every day and says you might like this, and they've really got me figured out. So I wanted to share with you the garments that I've made with these inspiration from Pinterest. And one of them actually came from your ready to wear looks video that you put out in December.
Yes.
And you had mentioned that Jenni's really into these quilted vests.
Yes. And you had actually pinned the picture.
I did pin the picture.
Yes.
And I pinned the picture and she put up the suggested pattern. And that's the one I bought, and that's the one I made.
Yes.
So
here, do you want to come?
Oh, actually, sure, that'd be great.
Switch spots.
So the pattern is from Etsy, and I am looking at it. The seller is Library of Patterns, and it's called the Tie Front Vest. So I was digging in Whitney's remnant basket one day, looking for, I don't even remember what.
Yeah.
And I came across this fabric that she had left over from a bomber jacket.
Yep, the cashmere bomber jacket.
The cashmere bomber jacket. And I really admired that jacket. I thought it was beautiful. And I sat it aside and I was thinking, well, maybe I can make a jacket out of it or something, because there was just enough. And then I found the remnant from the shirt that we made for the Introduction to Garment class, and it just happened to be laying there, and I was like, wow, that looks really good together. So I went ahead and measured it and found that there was enough for this vest, and I had enough to make bias tape for this jacket. So what I did is I wanted to give the vest a little bit of body, and so I decided to do the same thing we did to the barn jackets. And that was to put a layer of flannel, a layer of backing, and quilt it together. You might be able to see here because it is quilted with bright pink yarn. Or yarn.
Thread.
I'm a knitter. Thread. And it gives a nice little definition to the jacket itself. So it was really easy. 3 pieces, a back and 2 fronts. And then the pattern actually came with a pattern for bias tape. Now, because of the thickness of my fabric, I would recommend, if you're going to do it this way, you make a thicker bias tape, maybe 1.5 inches or 1 3/4 inch bias tape. Because when I applied the bias tape, it was just barely covering the edge of that fabric and getting it sewn down. But I absolutely love how it turned out. We've got some pictures of me in it. So we'll pop those up and so you can see what's going on. I love the bias tape ties. And I love wearing it over this Cashmere Vernon shirt with my wide-legged jeans. I feel very current, but I'm also really warm because this is a layer of denim, a layer of flannel, and then this really beautiful woven fabric. Now, the one thing I will say about this woven fabric is it frayed like bonkers. So I serged all of the pieces together before I put the bias tape on because I was covered in tiny little pieces of in this case, yarn.
Yeah.
So it was a really fun. It was a really fun, easy make. I made it in an afternoon, and I think the pattern was maybe $3-4. It's a great stash buster. So if you've got something that you're hanging on to that you like and you just can't bear with it, this would be a really fun way to show off those really interesting fabrics. And really for any fabric.
Yeah, and a fun way to try the trend
Yeah.
without investing too much time and money.
No.
And, you know, if you're trying to get into some cozy sewing, you know, buckling down a little bit in this current, you know, winter weather, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, it's a good little project.
I mean, yeah.
And
like
a layering piece.
An afternoon and, you know, put on some music
Yeah.
and treat yourself to this fun little vest. And like I said, just wearing it over a simple white shirt.
Yeah.
Easy peasy.
Yeah.
But it doesn't stop at vests. I also decided that I needed a jacket. And this was a coat that I, thank you Pinterest, decided that I needed. And it is called the Luray Coast Coat. And it was also available on Etsy for purchase. She demonstrates it with a quilted jacket. I believe there's like pink tulips or something on it, using an old quilt. I had this blanket that I had in my house as a throw, a decorative throw over the edge of the couch. And it's made of cantha cloth. And if you aren't familiar with cantha cloth, what that is just a bunch of fabric layers on top of each other, a way to recycle fabric. And this looks like it has a running hand stitch all the way through it, but it can be quilted together, whatever it is. This particular one, I believe, is made from recycled saris. And so I was really specific about where the pattern pieces were going to go here because I wanted this part to match on both sides of the sleeves. And I thought, okay, this has got this cool detail down here for the pocket. And I was like, oh, this will just be so cool. So I was really careful when I cut it out. Again, a super easy pattern, a back, front, and a sleeve.
2 sleeves. Yep.
Yeah, 2 sleeves.
And the pocket.
Super duper easy. When I went to flip it inside out to sew it, I noticed that the pattern also on the other side lined up incredibly perfect. So I, in fact, have a reversible jacket. And I do have to show you the back piece of it. The back, it just goes right across the shoulders with that same motif. Really fun. I probably will never wear it with the yellow side out, and so that's why I didn't really finish the edges too much other than serge them. But I do like the idea that, you know, if it opens up, it's very symmetrical across the front. So that was a really fun project to do too. Again, this one maybe took me, I would say probably 4 to 6 hours because you put bias binding tape around the edge. And I used store-bought bias binding tape for this edge just because I couldn't find any printed fabric that I liked well enough that we had enough of that would go with this. And I just thought the black would be a good foundational kind of settling piece with all the different patterns in the fabric.
Yeah, I feel like you cut it out, like you got everything laid out, cut out, and you made the jacket itself within just a few hours, like while you were here.
Yes.
And then you took it home to do the bias.
I did. And because we did figure out that it was reversible, I have pockets on the inside too. So I have 4 pockets for snacks.
She loves a good snack.
I love a good snack. And I wear this when I'm just throwing something on in the house, or I've worn it over my workout clothes when I'm just running from the car into
like a cardigan. A replacement for a cardigan almost.
Yeah, and it's interesting and it's fun. And again, these are not super form-fitting tailored things. What they are just unique things that nobody else has, and with beautiful fabrics to showcase the fabrics. And
a great way to recycle a blanket that you said you were not using in your home.
No.
And now you've got it on your body.
Now I've got it on my body.
Sewing is the best hobby, folks.
So yeah, if you want to give a try of either one of these, we've got the links down in the description box. So click on those. See what you have around. It's kind of an upcycle project for both of these. Yeah. And I think it's a really fun one.
I think so too. And with 2 great pieces that she's got and can wear on repeat. So win-win.
Absolutely. I think that's it for us.
Yes, that is it for us. Thank you for joining us in today's video. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Get some sewing in if you are able. And I will see you next time.
Bye.